The first thing I saw when I opened my eyes wasn't the ceiling of my apartment. It was the jagged, rusted metal of a car wreck, twisted around me like a cage. Pain, sharp and electric, shot up my leg. Outside, sirens wailed, getting closer. My name is Leo, and this was supposed to be the best day of my life. Just hours ago, I was on top of the world. I'd just landed the biggest architectural contract of my career, a skyscraper that would reshape the city's skyline. I'd called my younger sister Chloe, bursting with the news. Her voice, usually so full of light, was quiet, worried. She'd said, "Leo, that's amazing. But are you coming to church tonight? Pastor John is speaking on priorities." I'd laughed it off. Priorities. Chloe, this is my priority. This is everything we've worked for. I promised I'd be there for her art show the next day instead. A promise I wouldn't be able to keep. Now, trapped in the wreckage, her words echoed in the sudden, terrifying silence between the siren blasts. Priorities. My phone was smashed. My leg was pinned. Helplessness washed over me, cold and suffocating. Through the shattered windshield, I saw them, the paramedics. One of them, a woman with kind eyes, knelt down. Her calm voice was an anchor in my storm of panic. They worked fast, the sounds of cutting metal filling the air. My leg was in a massive cast, elevated on a pillow. The doctor came in, his expression grim. "Mr. Vance, you're very lucky. The surgery was complex. You shattered your tibia and fibula. It's going to be a long road to recovery. Months of physical therapy. You won't be walking on your own for a while." The words hit me harder than the car. The skyscraper project, the deadlines, the meetings. My career, everything I'd built, everything I had identified as my success, vanished in that single moment. The life I had worshipped was gone. I was broken, not just my leg, but my spirit. The next few weeks were a blur of pain, frustration, and a deepening despair. I couldn't work. I couldn't even get myself a glass of water. My ambition, once a roaring fire, was now just cold, dead ash. Chloe was my rock. She visited every day, bringing books, food, and her unwavering faith. She never said, "I told you so." Instead, she'd read to me, not from novels, but from the Bible. Stories of men who faced impossible odds, who lost everything, but found strength in God. I'd listen, mostly to be polite. But one day, she read from the book of Job, a man who had it all and lost it in an instant. His friends told him he must have sinned, that he deserved his suffering. But Job held on, questioning God, wrestling with his faith in the darkness. And that's where I was, in the dark. One night, unable to sleep, the physical pain and the emotional agony became too much to bear. I cried out, not to anyone in particular, just into the void. Why? Why did this happen? I did everything right. I worked hard. I was successful. What was it all for? The tears came then, hot and bitter. It was the first time I had truly been honest with myself, with God. In that moment of raw surrender, a strange peace began to settle over me. It wasn't an answer, it was just a presence, a feeling that I wasn't screaming into an empty room. The next morning, I asked Chloe to bring Pastor John. When he arrived, I didn't hold back. I poured out all my anger, my confusion, my sense of betrayal. He listened patiently, his gaze never wavering. When I was finished, exhausted and empty, he opened his Bible. For what does it profit a man to gain the whole world and forfeit his soul? He simply said. His words were direct, but they held no judgment. That question pierced through my pride. I had been so focused on gaining the world, on building my own kingdom of steel and glass, that I had completely neglected my soul. That day was the beginning of my reconstruction, not of a skyscraper, but of myself. Physical therapy was grueling. Every step was a battle against pain and weakness. There were days I wanted to give up, to just lie in bed and let the world pass me by. But now, something was different. I wasn't fighting alone. Each morning, before the therapists arrived, I'd open the Bible Chloe had left me. I started to pray. Not for my leg to magically heal, but for strength, for patience, for a new perspective. I started to see the therapists not as tormentors, but as helpers. I saw the other patients in the rehab ward not as competition, but as fellow strugglers, each with their own story of loss and hope. My focus shifted. The calls from my old office asking about the project started to feel distant, like echoes from another life. The project had been reassigned, of course. The old Leo would have been devastated, but the new Leo felt relieved. I started sketching again, but not buildings. I drew the faces of the nurses, the sunlight hitting the floor of the rehab gym, Chloe's smile. My art, once a tool for my ambition, became a form of worship, a way to notice the beauty in the small, overlooked details of life. I was finding joy not in what I could achieve, but in what I was given each day. Months passed. The day finally came when I took my first steps without crutches. It was slow, unsteady, but I was standing on my own 2 feet. Chloe was there, crying happy tears. As I walked carefully down the hospital corridor, I passed a window. I looked out at the city skyline, at the spot where my skyscraper would have been. There was no bitterness, no regret. Instead, a profound sense of gratitude filled my heart. God hadn't taken my dream away. He had given me a new one. He hadn't destroyed my life. He had saved it. He had to break my leg to heal my soul. My name is Leo. I'm an architect. But I'm no longer building towers of glass and steel that reach for the sky. I'm building a life on a foundation that can't be shaken. A life of faith, of gratitude, and of purpose that isn't measured in square footage, but in the quiet, steady strength that comes from knowing you are loved and held by the greatest architect of all. The road to recovery is long, and I'm still on it. But for the first time in my life, I know I'm walking in the right direction. Thank you for watching. If you're struggling in your own darkness, please know you are not alone. There is hope, and there is help. God bless.